Well, hello and welcome. I'm so glad you're. Wow, that is like really glowy. What is going on? So I don't use this webcam. Ah, there it goes. Woo, that was really like looked kind of cool, but wasn't so cool. Oh my gosh, what a great topic we're gonna talk about disrespect. Like that's such a heavy topic, right? Like someone disrespected you. I just want to go to my Instagram because we did a poll on my Instagram. Let's see. So we did this poll on my Instagram story, and it says, have you ever been disrespected before? And the poll says that 94% of people said, yes, of course, they've been disrespected. Who is out there disrespecting us like this, you guys? Who's doing this to us? Um, so we're talking about a low value person will be disrespectful, but a high value person, not so much. And I just have to apologize for my nails right now because Ninja Wolf always looks at my nails. And I had one that was chipped. And I was like, I cannot go on camera with this chipped nail. And so I was going to try to hurry up and like take it all off. And it just, the nail polish remover wasn't working fast enough for me. And so now we have not so nice nails. Sorry, Ninja Wolf. Really sorry about that. So if you get disrespected a lot and you're like, I think we're going to talk about like how not to keep getting disrespected, right? What's the answer? How do we, even if we understand that these are low value people, how do we stop this? How do we go? And if you're like, how do I know if I'm the low value person who's disrespecting people? How do I go to the high value person? We're going to talk about how to get there. Your hero's journey of going from the either disrespected or the person who's out disrespecting people and just being a really low value person. But first, let's talk about why high value people they don't ever do this. A high value person is someone when I say high value, it's someone who really values themselves. You can't be high value if you don't value yourself. And so when you value yourself, why do you value yourself? Because you're what? Valuable. What makes you valuable? What makes something valuable? It's what everyone's willing to invest in, right? Like what makes gold valuable? Because everyone says it's valuable and people put their money there. What makes a person valuable is when they put an investment in themselves and they say, I'm going to invest in my higher self. Like, I'm not comfortable with the status quo. So I'm going to make myself high value. I'm going to make myself high value. And so when a person makes that investment and they say, look, I'm going to change the game. I'm not going to be a low value person anymore. I'm going to start investing in me. There's a mentality that shifts from high value people and low value people. And it's this: a high value person understands the cost, the investment that it's required of them to become who they are today. It's like if you put me in front of someone who has a victim mentality or someone who is really about investing in themselves to change. Like in the past, when I would get a client who had a very victim mentality, they were always a dread to work with because it was just like I didn't understand like that kind of frequency. It's just like, oh my God, this person's just gonna bitch about their situation, but they're never gonna grow up and become something different. They actually like bitching and staying in this victim mode. And I don't resonate with that. I don't vibe with that. Whereas a client who would come in and be like, this is what's going on. I'm in the equation. Every time the scenario changes, I'm still in the equation. So something is going on with me. And I need to change this. I need to change something about me. I'm a high value person. They know there's a cost here. They know there's an investment. They know that there is a transformation that needs to happen on the inside of them instead of blaming their circumstances. So a high value person isn't going to go around disrespecting people because they know the cost that it's required for them to become the version of who they are. And so when you've paid that cost, You don't need to go through life making people feel inferior. It's not a requirement, but for a low value person, it is. Now, also, I want to really quick, if you're just tuning in, make sure that you give me a thumbs up so that YouTube's like, yep, people need to hear this one. We're going to share it with the algorithm. So please give me that thumbs up. And also, if you are a person who you're like, help me to stop getting disrespected, before I forget, there is my boundaries Bible. It's a playbook on exactly what to say in any scenario of your relationship. So you're like, how do I stand up to a narcissist? It's in there. How do I stand up for myself in a toxic relationship? It's in there. How do I stand up for myself when I just want a second date and I don't know how to like make that declaration for myself? Even that's in there. So make sure you get the boundaries Bible. I think it's like 50 something bucks. Will change your life, because for years my clients kept asking me, I'd be coaching them and they'd be like, well, what do I do? Or what do I say in this? And I'd be like, this is what you say and this is how you show up. And they're like, oh my God, Erica, that was so good, can you write that down for me? And so I kept hearing people say, write that down for me, write that down for me. So that's exactly what I did with that boundaries Bible. Was I wrote all the things that you need to say to people who are disrespecting you, or just to say that you want something more out of a relationship or in your relationship. Make sure that you get that. So high value person, they understand the cost of what it takes to become someone who's respectable. And what I mean by that is when you can look yourself in the mirror and go, hey, I like you. Hey, I want to be with you. I want to spend time with you. That's a person who values and respects himself. And because they feel so good, because their tank of self respect is so filled, they don't have to go around making withdrawals of people. And this is a perfect example. I saw, I don't know how it popped up for me, but it was a picture with Jordan Peterson and Christian Ronaldo. And I guess, I don't know, months ago, weeks ago, they took a picture together, and they each shared it on their social media. And Jordan Peterson is one of the great minds of today. And it really just stands for not bullshitting and just speaking the truth, which is kind of rare. And Christian Ronaldo has, obviously, if you know him, he has an insane work ethic. Like, he's very in integrity with what he's trying to accomplish and what's required of him to become that man, right? So you have two men who really operate with a value system for integrity. And Jordan Peterson said about Christian Ronaldo, he was like, here is someone who worked for something and they actually deserve everything that they have. And it's like value recognizes value. When someone is disrespectful, if you're out disrespecting people, you need to tear people down. It is a sign that you're a low value person. And what do I mean by that? You're someone who doesn't value yourself. And it's obvious to the world that you don't value yourself because you're tearing people apart. And people who feel safe and secure and strong in who they are and their masculinity, femininity, identity, they know damn well that they don't have to do that. It doesn't benefit them at the end of the day. I don't know about you, but I think, one, let's just cover the bases that we can all be disrespectful. But I'm talking about a person who has no qualm with being disrespectful. It's just something that they consistently show up and do. Whereas, uh, like, if you do something that hurts me, I may my highest self wants to be calm and be like, that really hurts. My lower self would be like, what the hell did you just do, and go off on you in a heartbeat, right? But I'm not going out consistently trying to disrespect people. It's not how I'm wired. And I'm a high value person. I don't want to go out and my goal in life is to be a conduit of love. And so when I go out in the world, I want to smile at people. I want to compliment people. I want people to feel that they matter and that they're loved. And that's a high value person wants people to feel the same goodness that they feel. Low value person, no. They are just super, I've been around people like this too, where you go out with them and they tear apart everyone, like strangers, anyone who goes around them that they don't like the way they're dressed, they don't like the way they carry themselves, and they just rip people apart. To me, that doesn't like the distraction to go and look at that person walking down the street who's wearing something funny. It doesn't take me to that person, it actually takes me to the person who's saying that, and I'm going in my mind, I'm thinking, "Wow, you're really disrespectful." This conversation has nothing to do with that other person, it actually has to do with you, and that you're deflecting about how you feel about yourself, and you're going, "Don't look at me, don't look at the inside of me, look at that other person, look at them." There's that saying I was just sharing with someone today, that saying that hurt people hurt people. Have any of you guys ever heard that before? So, if you are a person who you're going around and disrespecting people, and you're like, Erica, ouch, I might just be a low value person. My advice to you is ask yourself, get very clear on where you don't feel valuable. And I think that that's something that we can all do. But for a person who is really, you're like, I tend to be disrespectful to a lot of people. You may be even aware that it's a defense mechanism. Like you might be, the fact that you're even watching this says that you're open to growth, you're open to change, but you're like, Erica, what is the next step? Well, obviously, you want to heal those places that don't feel very valuable, right? So, how do you do that? The first thing you do is confront where the deficit is, and that is, where in your life do you not feel like you have value? And I love Dr. Brene Brown's work, because she says most of the things that we have challenges with are all connected to shame. And so in doing so, and writing a list and going like, where do I not value myself? Because I obviously have to go and rip people apart. And as Erica's saying, that's a low value person. How do I make myself more valuable? It's getting very honest about where you don't feel valued. And it's going into those places and it's rebuilding those areas. But you can't rebuild, you can't put infrastructure into place if you're not honest about where the deficit is. So, if there's a crack in a foundation, let's say building, because I used to sell real estate years ago. And one thing, whenever I would go into a property and we would look to see if it was a property we wanted to get or to walk away from, the first question that we would look and ask is, what's the foundation like? So if there's a most of the time, if it was a severe foundation issue, the house was a no go. We just walked away. So if you have a serious issue with how you feel and how you value yourself or the lack thereof, the first question to ask is, where is there a crack in my foundation, in my internal foundation? Where is that crack? What do I need to look at? So being very clear and honest about where you have a lack of value. That's where you want to start. Is start by there and going, okay, how can I start rebuilding here? And obviously you can always reach out to me for coaching. I have an emotional warrior program that would really help you and support you in that. You can go to my website, Arica with an A, aricaangelo.com, to help you build that infrastructure inside of yourself. But now, what if you're the person and you keep getting disrespected? You're like, okay, Erica, I got it. I I always I always get disrespected, and thank you for helping me see that this is coming from people who are of low value. I was thinking about this I tend to think about what I want to talk about when I get on these, and I was thinking, like, even with YouTube comments, when you decide to be an influencer or a coach and you decide to come online and you decide to put your face in front of a camera and tell people what to do about their lives, people go on the defense. I mean, people get really pissy. It's like, who are you to tell me what to do with my life? And I'm like, I'm just your guide. And the reality is you don't have to watch this. If you don't like what I'm saying, then piss off, you know? But I always think about, like, you get lots of really nice comments. Let me just speak into that. You get really nice people who are like, "Oh my god, you changed my life. This is incredible. Why didn't I know this 10 years ago, 20 years ago?" And you get more of that. But then you'll get some people who are just complete assholes, and they're like, "You're not even that hot," and just like very random random statements, and you're just like, what crawled in that person's asshole for them to be so nasty? And so I always think of, like, if someone's commenting most of the time and they're being rude or disrespectful on my comments, most of the time I'll look at and see if they have a picture of themselves. And I'm like, if you don't have the balls and the boldness to put your picture up, then your comment, your negative rudeness doesn't hold it, like, there's no weight because you don't even have the guts to put your picture on. So, but if they have their picture on and they're calling me out on something, I might give it a second thought and be like, is there something valuable to what they're saying? I'll actually tell you something funny. I got a really mean comment on YouTube on years ago, and I had seen this comment before, and this one, it was so damn funny that I had to say something. Matt says, "I'm the only one without a picture here." But Matt, wouldn't you just wouldn't you say that sometimes you struggle with value? Maybe that has something to do with it. But I do think you're valuable. I've met with Matt before and I know he's valuable. I just think Matt needs to know that he's valuable. So this guy commented on one of my videos and he said, "You can't see it now, but he said, you need to get your teeth fixed." He said, "Your bottom two teeth look like two pitchforks, two trapped pitchforks." It made first I was like, "Oh my God, that is harsh." And then it was really freaking funny, like crying, laughing. But that picture of what he painted for me is like, your teeth look like two like trapped pitchforks or something like that. Made me go and get braces. And so now I wear these uh, invisible braces that make me also talk funny. But that comment actually got to me. I was like, okay, I'm going to do something. But you always have to put weight on it. Like if you're a person that's constantly being disrespected for people, one, get my boundaries Bible so that you know what to say to them first and foremost. But the second thing is and it's hard because when someone hits you in a place where there's a button or a trigger there, or it's a soft place where it's been hurt before, and so there's a wound there, it's hard to like separate that. But most of the time, if someone's disrespecting you, well, one, you have some context of like, okay, this is a low value person. Thanks to Erica talking about this, because now I see like you've heard it before that hurt people, but this person is of low value because really when someone values themselves, they don't have a need to go and tear people apart. It's just they're just not wired that way. They've worked too hard, they put too much effort to become who they are. So you're like, I got that they're a low value person. So then when you understand it that way, you go, when someone says something hurtful or disrespectful, you can go, "Mm, that's a low value person." And I want to be obviously careful with this language because it can become us versus them, which doesn't come from love. It's still very fear driven. But we can say when something is valued and when it's not valued. And it's like, okay, that person doesn't value themselves. Like I just need to get that through my head that they don't value themselves. And it's constantly that thing that I have shared with you so many times. And if you've been following me for the past 14 years, then you've heard me say this, but it's what my mentor in Texas said, and I actually ran into her this not this summer, the following summer before. And I told her, I quote her all the time, which she just loved hearing. I bumped into her at a restaurant and she said, she goes, "You can't give out what you don't have." And she was like, "How's that working for you? You can't give out what you don't have." And so it's the same thing. When a person is disrespecting you, look at it like this. If you can see it this way, look at them as like a big bowl of food or whatever you food, money, whatever you want to think. Like that's what they're carrying. And when they take something out and they shit on you by being disrespectful, just know that that shit is coming from the inside. They're taking what they feel about themselves and they're just rubbing the shit on you, but with their words. And so that's a great analogy. If you're a person who gets disrespect a lot, which like I said, get my boundaries Bible so you can know what to say to these people. But when you understand, like, oh, they just shit on me with their words, but now I know where it's coming from because they're carrying shit on the inside that they haven't dealt with, that they haven't healed, that they haven't confronted. And so they're hurting on the inside. And so they're just going and putting all that hurt, all that shit on other people. And I'm a vision person. Like I need pictures. So for me, that picture, like if someone's disrespectful to me, if I can just look at them and go, okay, whatever is inside of them, that is what's going to come out of them. And so if they see themselves as shitty and worthless, guess what? What they say to me is coming out from the inside of them. Uh, the hair justice says, "I'm drinking coffee while you keep saying shit." That's kind of gross, but it's true. The next time a person shits on you with their words, just go, "Ooh, that like that's harsh. That's coming from the inside." And so they may feel powerful because I think we've championed bully culture for so long. We always have looked at people who hurt people as strong. And I think the more that we become emotionally aware, we talk about mental health, we talk about emotions, the more we're getting clued in like, no, these people weren't strong. These people were terrified all along. And so here we thought they were the strong ones and they weren't. They were the scared ones. And so when you have that picture, like, okay, if a person keeps disrespecting me, this is their low value. The picture is they are feeling shitty about themselves and they're just throwing it onto me. But I would say to you, if you're a person that keeps getting disrespected, get the boundaries Bible because you can change the game. You can change how people treat you. And that's something that I love empowering people with is like, you don't have to take people's shit. Like it's the one thing that I get really fired up. Like when I'm coaching people and like they've come from a nice guy, nice girl background and they've been shit on by an ex or they're trying to pursue someone, but that person's gaming them or leading them on, or they've come out of a toxic relationship. Like I get so fired up telling people like you get to stand up for yourself. You don't have to take that. You get to teach the world how to treat you, but you don't do that by hoping that they treat you differently. You get that by showing up differently. And I love being able to like coach people into becoming that kind of emotional warrior who doesn't really take that shit from anyone, goes, screw that. I'm not going to be a pushover anymore. I've got to stand up for myself. I've got to change the game. And I love being able to like give people that fuel and that power to go, you are powerful. You do matter and you do have the capacity. You do have the ability to create change in your life so that people don't keep disrespecting you, that they don't keep shitting on you. This I get really wired up about because at the end of the day, here's the bigger picture and why you might someone might be watching this and you might be new here thinking like why does that fire you up so much, Erica? Because I know that when people continuously have people shit on them in their lives, what they do is they start believing that shit, like literally, and they start believing that it's real and that they're not worthy of love. And so, my whole heartbeat, the reason why I believe I'm on this planet is to be a conduit of love, is to reawaken people that they do matter and that they are loved. But sometimes it's removing the shit so that the love can come in. Like it's funny that I say this because we just had a plumbing issue recently in our place. And the plumber was like, the water was just backing up. It was a mess. There was water everywhere. It's disgusting. And the plumber, this sweet French man, he was like, "Come here!" Like he was in his broken English, my not so great French, my broken French. He was like, "Come." His French was way better than my English. Wait, his English was way better than my French. Anyways, he goes, "Come here." He goes, "I want you to see what was going on." And the pipes were just clogged, completely clogged up. And that's what happens to a person who's been disrespected so much is that the pipe to receive love inside, the pipe to believe that they're lovable and that they matter and that they're worthy and that their life carries value gets so clogged up from this shit from hurtful people. And that's what I love to do. I guess maybe I'm like a plumber to people's hearts. I don't know where that came from, but it's true. It's like that's what I do in my work. It's like I'm the plumber who goes, okay, it's time to remove this shit so that love can pour in. Oh my gosh, here I've been thinking that like I'm so glamorous and chic and luxurious, but little did I know that I've been a plumber this whole time. I've been plumbing shit out of people's hearts. Wow. I just had that epiphany. Go figure. So, someone said that ficus is huge. It's real. I believe in real plants. I believe that you should have real plants in your home. I'm not a big fan of fake flowers and fake plants. I'm like, "Ugh." So yes, it's real, and I take very good care of it. I'm a good plant keeper. So I hope this made sense to you guys. So for those of you, you're like, okay, I struggle with being disrespectful. And now I realize it's because maybe I am a low value person. And the only way I'm going to change that is by doing what Erica said, which was getting really honest with myself, writing out a list and saying, where is it in my heart, in my body, in my mind? Were there stories that I believed about myself that told me I wasn't valuable? And because I'm hurting on the inside, I'm going out and shitting on everybody else in the world. And I need to change that. So kudos to you. If you need help, get my emotional warrior program. That will really change the game for you. It'll walk you through that so that you can become that valuable person, or you can talk to me about coaching. But if you're the person that you're like, I keep getting disrespected, then get my boundaries Bible, because that's going to give you the language. It's going to give you the playbook on what to say to people, because at the end of the day, it's important for you to take a stand for yourself, because the longer you keep accepting that into your life and not creating a shift by standing up for yourself, by voicing enough, the more that you allow that in, the more prone you are to believe that. And then what happens? The pipes to your heart to be able to receive love get clogged. That's so weird. I wonder, someone just put, I wonder if that's Kayla. She just put my boundaries course there, and I'm putting my boundaries board. Kayla, is that you adding my boundaries Bible? Kayla helps me run all my social media. So I think she just put the boundaries course on there. Yeah, you can get that too. Get everything, buy it all. But the longer you allow people to disrespect you, what happens is you begin to partner with the lies. You begin to partner with the shit that they say about you. And then you start believing that you are not worthy of love. And that is why I'm here to say, no, 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 no. We don't partner with that. We do the things that we need to do to stop that from coming into our life so that we can uncover actually why we should be loved, what makes us lovable, and how to allow love to come in. Because at the end of the day, we all desire to be loved. Don't give me that BS that you're independent and you don't want to be loved by people. That's such horseshit. We all want to be loved. We all. Thank you, Matt. He's like, a girl, you're a plumber to people's hearts. That is apparently what I've been doing all along. I just had the epiphany today. So make sure that you like this video. And if you're just joining, watch it at the beginning. But in the comment section below, I want to hear what part of this that was like your epiphany, your aha. So we have another video coming out tomorrow, and I can't wait for you guys to watch it. I've got a really cool video coming out. I think it's gonna come out in a couple of weeks. I'm like, ugh. I wanted to do a different approach, where it was just like conversational instead of giving advice. It was like, okay, I've been coaching for 14 years. And this is the truth of what I've seen. This is a pattern of what I've seen, and this is what's going on with you. Because so many times people go, "Why does this keep happening to me?" And in those conversations and those YouTube videos, I become very conversational and going, "Look, babe, it's just like you and I are talking on myself." And I'm like, "This is what's going on. This is why this keeps happening. And this is what you got to change. Otherwise, it's going to continue. It's going to keep hurting." So make sure you like the video. And guys, I will see you next Monday on my next live video. You guys be loved and take care. See you soon. Bye.